Welcome to this week's episode of the Texan News Scoop, your weekend review of this week's top stories from the campus, region, and beyond. Today is October 23rd, 2015, and I'm Katy Tonkin. This week's top stories are experts in Borderlands Studies to speak at Tarleton, death on Highway 281, health inspector subpoena records from Planned Parenthood, FBI opens hate crime investigation, John Kerry and Ben Netanyahu meet in Berlin. In campus news, according to the Tarleton website, 3 experts on Borderlands Studies are coming to Tarleton to discuss a timely comparison of drug smuggling along the U.S.-Mexico and U.S.-Canada borders. This discussion will be held in room 118 in the OA Grant Building on Thursday, November 12th at 4 p.m. Dr. Holly Carabo, assistant professor of history at Tarleton and also one of the 3 presenters, says sex, tourism, and violence along the U.S. borders are not new problems. Carabo's work follows smugglers, sex tourist workers, and reformers from Detroit, Michigan to Windsor, Ontario, Canada, and back again. Carabo is joined by Dr. George Diaz of Sam Houston State University and Dr. Santiago Guerra of Colorado College. Following the lecture, both Carabo and Diaz will sign copies of their books. In local news, according to the Stephenville Empire Tribune, a one-vehicle accident resulted in the death of Donald Armstrong of Marion, Arkansas, Thursday afternoon. Armstrong was traveling on Highway 281 South when he lost control of the empty semi-tanker after hydroplaning and hit a tree. Armstrong was apparently not wearing a seatbelt when he was ejected from the vehicle upon impact, said Dub Gillum, Department of Public Safety spokesman. The scene was investigated by Texas State Trooper B.J. Hill. Armstrong was pronounced dead on the scene by Justice of the Peace, Judge Shawnee Bass. In Texas news, according to the Associated Press, health inspectors served subpoenas requesting hundreds of pages of patient and staff records from Planned Parenthood clinics across Texas on Thursday. This was done in an effort to halt Medicaid funding to the organization that has been repeatedly targeted by the state's top conservatives, Planned Parenthood said. Investigators visited clinics in Houston, Dallas, and San Antonio, and a health center that does not provide abortions in Brownsville. They had asked for patient health records and billing documents dating back to 2010, as well as personal files, which included the home addresses of staff members. Ken Lambrecht, CEO of Planned Parenthood of Greater Texas, said, "We believe this is a fishing expedition. We believe that this is exactly what it is, another political attack targeted at Planned Parenthood." In national news, according to the Associated Press, the FBI has opened a hate crime investigation following an attack on a Muslim woman in which police say an Indiana University student shouted racial slurs and tried to take off her headscarf. FBI Special Agent Wendy Osborne said on Thursday that there is no deadline for concluding the investigation. According to her, the FBI became aware of the incident on Monday and started the investigation on Tuesday. Trickton Bickford of Fort Wayne, Indiana, has been charged with multiple felony charges, including intimidation, strangulation, and battery, in the attack of the woman outside a Turkish cafe. In international news, according to the Associated Press, U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met in Berlin on Thursday to discuss the importance of ending violence and incitement in the Middle East. Here's a video from the AP.
Yesterday was a tough day. We had 4 terrorist attacks. This morning began with an attack in which 2 terrorists tried to murder a bus full of school children. There's no question that this wave of attacks is driven directly by incitement from Hamas, incitement from the Islamist movement in Israel, and incitement, I'm sorry to say, from President Abbas, the Palestinian Authority. And I think it's time that the international community told President Abbas to stop the incitement and hold him accountable for his words and his deeds.
We have to stop incitement. We have to stop the violence.
Excuse me.
And I think it's critical. Obviously, this conversation that you and I will have is very important to settle on the steps that can be taken that take us beyond the condemnation, beyond the rhetoric. It is absolutely critical to end all incitement, to end all violence, and see what we can do. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Texan News Scoop, a product of the Texan News Service at Tarleton State University in Stephenville, Texas. Today's show was produced by Alejandra Arguin and Kelsey Pointer. My name is Katy Tonkin. You can like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter, as well as check out our website at www.texannews.net. Have a great weekend, Tarleton Texans.